Not all heroes wear capes, and not all heroes get their due recognition. There are some heroes who remain backstage and go unnoticed. One such character in the Marvel Universe is Forget-Me-Not. Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Marvelous Videos. Today we're going to talk about the character Forget-Me-Not. If you're a diehard fan of Marvel Comics, I'm sure you're acquainted with the character. But if you fall under the other group, don't worry, we've got you covered. We assure you, you're in for a wild ride knowing about this character. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Forget-Me-Not, the silent hero. Forget-Me-Not first appeared in X-Men Legacy number 300 in May 2014. This character was created by Simon Spurrier and Tan Eng Huat. Issue number 300 is a path-breaking issue that introduces him as one of the most outstanding and tragic mutants in the X-Men roster. He's also known by the names of Nobody and Nothing Man. He has brown eyes and black hair that is almost at the stage of balding. Issue number 300 introduces Forget-Me-Not as Zabi. He was a part of the X-Men group for a period of about 6 years. He's been associated with the X-Force of Earth-616 and also Magneto's mutant resistance in Earth-616 from 1 through 6. His original name is unknown, and he has a unique power that makes everyone forget about him the moment they look away from him. This makes his power highly isolating and, at the same time, strong. His tale is not rooted in fighting epic battles and flashy powers, but it resides in the deep struggle to achieve recognition. Forget-Me-Not has a set of unique powers. The instant someone looks away from him, they forget about his existence. He joined the X-Men group before M-Day. However, due to the kind of powers he possessed, he remained largely unnoticed by his group and didn't find a place in the official roster. Professor X had to place a psychic reminder in his mind to remember the existence of Forget-Me-Not once in every hour. The issue starts in the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning. Here, a young girl is trapped amid a security lockdown. No other teammates of the X-Men noticed her except Forget-Me-Not. All of a sudden, Forget-Me-Not materialized and appeared in front of her to help. He stressed the fact that he is ever present to keep the mutants safe, even though nobody remembers him. This sole act of humanity introduces Forget-Me-Not and his lonesome world to the reader. His invisibility is not just restricted to physical, but it's also existential. Forget-Me-Not was even a part of the past X-Men adventures, where he battled the Brood, relocated to Utopia, fought during the Age of X, and also memorialized Professor X. After he lost his connection to the other X-Men permanently, he fell into depression. In order to remove his powers, he went to Omega and Mimic. Forget-Me-Not requested Omega to relieve him of his powers. But in the end, he decided not to go ahead with the process. This leads him also to state, "It is better to do something that matters and not be noticed than the other way around." Now comes the hard part, actually doing something that matters. He decided to step back from this when he realized that he could still contribute his goodness without being noticed. He saved the X-Men numerous times, acting as the Deus Ex Machina for them against the Brood or Super Sentinel. Through the flashbacks of the stories, we get to know that Forget-Me-Not was actually active behind the scenes for years. He was present during the events of the Age of X, helping heroes such as Legion, Frenzy, and Magneto. He once worked with Mimic and Weapon Omega during the Hurricane relief missions after attaining success. His first appearance surpasses the introduction of a new mutant. It delves into the themes of loneliness and a desire for reconnection. Forget-Me-Not returned to stay at the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning and roamed about the grounds. There, he came across a disfigured girl who wished to be a part of the outcast group of the X-Men. She was even ready to die trying her luck at it. Forget-Me-Not helped her escape the mansion by placing himself instead in the trap. The girl eventually went free, and Forget-Me-Not remained trapped, thinking that even the defenses would forget about him. He also went on to work side by side with X-Force and S.H.I.E.L.D. All these contributions remain unnoticed. The girl immediately forgets him, but he inspired her to lead a better life. Forget-Me-Not would go on to become a key character in an X-Force mission that was planned by Dr. Nemesis, who was able to get in touch with him while consuming something named Hyper Coffee, and they decided to work together. But this team-up led to a situation where Forget-Me-Not was shot by Phantom X. The mission was a success, but Forget-Me-Not was not at all. His body was taken away by the maintenance bots, who fortunately could perceive him. Luckily, he was brought back, and it was made clear that these bots were actually controlled by a mutant whose name is Mimi. It was Mimi's consciousness that had taken control of the machines. From there, he was brought back to the scene and played a major role when X-Force was on the lookout for the evil incarnation of Phantom X. What role does Forget-Me-Not play in Marvel Comics? Now that we've met and learned about the first appearance of Forget-Me-Not, it's time to delve deeper into his role. Every X-Man plays a specific role in the Marvel Universe. So why will Forget-Me-Not be left out? In this section, we will learn about the specific role of an uncommon X-Man who is almost not present in the common roster. Let us begin without any further ado. In Marvel Comics, Forget-Me-Not dons the role of an unsung hero who remains unnoticed in the eyes of the public. This is true both thematically and literally. He is a mutant whose unique set of powers makes him go out of mind once he is out of sight. It's also true for the fellow X-Men and Professor X. This special ability makes him suitable to be engaged in secret missions. No one will remember his contribution once the affair is over. This makes him the perfect spy. He has often contributed to the X-Men group significantly. His role surpasses that of any other superhero. He is a testament to the forgotten characters within the Marvel Comics. He is a sheer example who serves as one who is happy to work in the rear end of the scenes without the hope of any glory or reward. Through his interactions, especially in series number 300, he successfully makes his mark by influencing others. Forget-Me-Not also poses questions about the nature of legacy, lost identity, and heroism. His existence within the X-Men series is a great way to remind the readers that not all heroes are remembered in the public eye. In a world that thrives on cosmic battles and out-of-this-world superior powers, Forget-Me-Not helps bring a touch of humanness and a touching dimension to the world of Marvel. He is certainly the hero nobody remembers, but nevertheless has a huge impact on the world. What does Forget-Me-Not look like? No discussion is complete without getting a glimpse of what the character in question looks like. The same stands true for Forget-Me-Not. After an introduction, let us check out what Forget-Me-Not looks like. Continue watching for more details. Forget-Me-Not carries a modest look that often overshadows his presence in the Marvel Universe. He is described as a man in his middle age and has a bald head. He also has tired eyes. Not to forget, he has scars too. He has a face that you might just walk past without providing a second glance. This accentuates his powers further. He is not physically muscular like his other counterparts, but he is not frail either. Forget-Me-Not wears a plain X-Men costume, which is either blue or black in color. It is minimalist in design without the flashy logo or specific colors that segregate other Marvel superheroes. The portrayal of Forget-Me-Not is done thoughtfully to match his powers. The artist sketched him with subtle colors and soft lines, with his figure sometimes fading into the background. The choice of design hints at his tragic condition. He is physically out there, but emotionally, he's difficult to trace. What are the goals of Forget-Me-Not? Every member of the X-Men group has a specific goal to attain. Just like the other superheroes, we cannot leave out Forget-Me-Not. In this section, let us dive into the details of what the goals are that this X-Man keeps. The goals of Forget-Me-Not are embedded in the deep desire for purpose, to gain recognition and create emotional connection. The central aim of Forget-Me-Not is to make a difference in the world that is meaningful. All this while he knows nobody can remember him once he's out of sight. Unlike the other heroes who look out for leadership, Forget-Me-Not wins hearts quietly. He takes on projects with the X-Men that are private and undercover, figuring out messes, or leading in situations where memory games play a crucial role. Having said that, he also has an underlying aim. This is more like a personal struggle. He wishes to be seen and valued. He wishes to know that his contribution makes a difference in the wider world. This internal conflict is seen through the comic in the present issue, where he decides to withdraw his powers so that he can experience being remembered. But eventually, he sticks to his powers and helps others anonymously. The goal of Forget-Me-Not is heroic as well as extremely human. He wishes to contribute to a world that constantly forgets about him. He also wishes to come to terms with his role, even after acknowledging that taking the right decisions and acting them out doesn't always come with the price of recognition. What are the different attributes associated with Forget-Me-Not? Forget-Me-Not has a unique combination of physical, mental, and emotional powers that make him one of a kind. Of all the traits that he has, the one that sets him apart is his mutant power of being forgotten. But along with that, he surely has some additional powers. In this section, let's look at some of the special powers that our hero possesses. Unmemorability. As mentioned earlier, no one coming in touch with Forget-Me-Not remembers him once he's out of sight. Physical build. Forget-Me-Not is an average-built superhero. He's a middle-aged man with no flashy looks. This helps him blend in with the general public. He has turned his ordinariness into his superpower. With this ability, he can venture into places that other superheroes cannot normally enter. He would travel in trains without getting a ticket for himself. Forget-Me-Not also borrowed the gun of Cable, who is a time-traveling soldier. He is mostly known to fight in wars most of his life. Marvelous verdict. So we've come to the end of our discussion. There are a few heroes who often do good, yet remain in the background. They make the lives of other people worth living without really looking for due credit. Forget-Me-Not is one such character. With ordinary humanness and yet a will to do good in the world that's stricken by evil is a quality not all superheroes can have. We hope you've enjoyed learning about Forget-Me-Not. If you're interested in knowing about all such characters, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We'll bring you yet another interesting character analysis in the next one. Till then, goodbye. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.